Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Keto and the Chaos, where you'll find tips and tricks on how you can lose weight on keto and you can share my ketogenic journey. Don't forget to like this video if you thought it was great and subscribe if you are new. We'd like to have you as part of our ketogenic family. Welcome. Happy Sunday, everyone. I hope that you have all had a really wonderful week this week. Things went fairly well for me this week, I have to say. Kind of getting back into the schedule and the groove of things after having this summer has been kind of nice, and getting back into homeschooling and everything. I appreciate you guys being patient with me. I did not do a live chat this last week because I needed to spend time with my kids. It was our very first day of homeschool, the day after Labor Day, and we were really trying to work out some kinks with our schedules and our new curriculums and all of that. So I appreciate your patience as I try and figure out our new schedule for the fall. And of course, my new eating schedule is a little bit different too. So I did want to talk about that. So after last week's weigh-in, I really started to wonder if there's really something that I could fix or alter that might either help this water weight to go or just help the scale to move, and maybe that I haven't tried. So a lot of the suggestions that were made were things that I had actually tried in the past, or things that I'm just not willing to do, like extended fasting or carnivore. I am not interested in doing those things, and there are many reasons why I have made videos on the subject, at least on fasting, not necessarily on carnivore. I just don't see it's just not calling to me. I just don't see the benefit of it. I've looked into it and I just am not interested. Maybe it would help, but it's not something that I can do long term, and thus not something that I'm willing to try. But one person did suggest something to me that made me really start to think about electrolytes again, because you know that I am the electrolytes queen. It is my soapbox. Out of all the things I love to teach, or that I feel like are the most important to teach on a ketogenic way of eating, electrolytes is number one. I really feel like a lot of people go into low carb not really understanding what it's going to do to their bodies, and when their electrolytes dump, they all immediately think they're dying, and they just think keto is terrible, and they get a really bad taste in their mouth, literally, or they don't, because they don't stay in ketosis. And so I really wanted to delve into that and really start to track my electrolytes well and make sure that I'm really getting what I thought that I was getting when it comes to electrolytes. So I decided to really recommit to tracking this week. A lot of people said maybe I wasn't tracking, and I'm like, well, I'm the queen of tracking, but have I been tracking super religiously this summer? Probably not as much as I should be. Now, I know that I'm eating meals that fit in my macros because I've done it so long, and I am still weighing my food, but not necessarily putting it in the tracker and making sure that I'm getting exactly what I need to be getting. So I decided that I was going to recommit to tracking this week, and I did so well. Like, you would be so proud. I tracked perfectly this week. Perfectly. And so I kept my macros definitely in check. There was no wiggle room. I definitely kept my macros where they should be, which they pretty much were anyway, but it's nice to see it in the app. But the one thing that I did do that I haven't been doing for a really long time was to double check my electrolytes in the tracker. It's been a while since I have actually input my Soleil water numbers and actually made sure that I'm hitting my 1,000 to 3,500 potassium number. And someone suggested on a different video, it wasn't even actually last week's video, it was an oldie, but someone suggested, and it was a water weight issue clear back then, that possibly my potassium could be the issue. Now, I really haven't focused a lot on potassium because I do choose to supplement sodium instead of potassium. But even when you're supplementing sodium, you're supposed to be getting 1,000 to 3,500 milligrams of potassium from your food sources. And for a really long time, I was easily hitting that. And so I kind of stopped watching that number, and I really hadn't paid that much attention. But this week, I decided I was going to double check and make sure that I was hitting my number well. And so I knew that it was for sure not that was my water weight problem. Also, this is my water weight gain week. It is the week after my womanly cycle, and it is leading up to my fertile period, which is when I generally gain water weight. It's been my typical cycle from the very beginning. So I wasn't expecting a heck of a lot of success this week with anything I tried anyway, and I have tried so many things, and nothing has made any difference whatsoever other than patience and waiting it out. The one weird difference, though, is that this summer I really have never gotten back down to no water being retained on my body. I haven't quite been able to get back there, and it's been puzzling to me because usually I do not have that problem. Usually I would drop a lot of weight, keep it off, or drop a little bit more, gain my water weight, and then stay the same and then drop. And it was like a regular cycle I could pretty much count on. But this summer, like, my drops have been really low. They haven't gone all the way back down to where they should be. And so it's been really frustrating this summer to not know if I'm actually losing fat because the scale has not cooperated. It's pretty much stayed between 180 and 185 all summer, which is not that exciting since last October is when I hit 187 for the first time. And so I don't really like that number sitting here a whole year later, knowing I've lost body fat because my body has changed immensely, but having the scale still say the same dang thing. It's really irritating. So, of course, it's been on my mind a lot. And when I first heard that girl say her low potassium causes her to retain water, my gut reaction was, well, I don't think so. And then I went, it's worth looking into because I know low sodium can cause that. So why not low potassium as well? So I'm sure you can tell where I'm going with this. I checked my potassium numbers and they were actually abysmally low. I don't know exactly what has changed in my diet between now and back when I was doing keto at the very beginning. Maybe I'm eating fewer veggies. I did not do bacon this week because I was trying to just cut my fats back a teensy weensy bit, and I just decided bacon was going to be my thing. But I think bacon actually is one of my higher potassium foods, and it's probably barely keeping me on the edge because I was not hitting with my regular food consumption that I was eating this week. I was not even hitting 1,000 potassium. So I was like, maybe there is something to this potassium thing. I am going to see what happens because I have tried so many things and nothing has made any difference. Now, I'm not going to go out there and start like all of a sudden supplementing oobs and gobs of potassium. I'm not going to like start doing potassium citrate powders in the day or whatever, but I thought I'm going to pay more attention. I'm going to try and input some more high potassium foods into my diet, and I'm going to add a light salt to some of my Soleil water so that I can make sure that I'm hitting at least the 1,000, but my goal was to hit 2,000 milligrams potassium per day. So I can see that if it made any difference. So the first couple of days, it didn't really seem to be doing anything. My water weight was still high. I was still hitting 184. In fact, I believe on Tuesday, it was right after the weigh-in. No, Monday. So Monday and Tuesday, I was at actually 185.6. I had actually gone up again, which I was expecting because it's the week that I usually go up, but it's irritating as heck. So yeah, I was sitting there not super happy looking at the scale at the beginning of the week. And so I decided, well, I'm just going to stick out this potassium thing and just see what happens. So I started adding more spinach and lettuce. What else did I add? Mushroom. I didn't do avocado because I'm trying to keep my fats low. That would be an obvious one, but I'm trying to keep my fats low too. And so, because I'm still on a keto cut, trying to cut and stick to my macros, and avocado doesn't always fit. Though I did actually have, no, that's not true. I did actually have avocado a couple of times this week. I had holy guacamole a couple times this week. So I guess I added guacamole as well. And of course, light salt. So, and then I actually went out and got some Zip Fizz, and I hadn't been doing any Zip Fizz for a long time. I don't really like using citrate because it can mess with your iron absorption in your body, any kind of citrate. And so I tend to avoid those, but it's an easy way for me to get the potassium up quickly. And so I did grab some Zip Fizzes, and I added a few of those this week. And I made sure to hit 2,000 milligrams of potassium every single day. And like I said, at the beginning of the week, it was doing nothing. The scale wasn't really moving. In fact, it went up. And so I was just kind of like, whatever, I'm just going to stick it out so that I can say it didn't work. Well, let's get to the weigh-in, and we'll talk about that. So as you can see, I weighed in today at 179.2. which is technically 5 pounds down from last week, but it's even like 6.5 pounds down from where I was on Monday. So after about, I think it was Wednesday actually, about 3 days in on the potassium, the whoosh started to happen. Now, this is weird because this is not my normal, like I said, it's not my normal whoosh week. This is my normal water weight gain week. But yet still, with the extra potassium in my food, my water weight started going down for the first time this summer since June. So I'm ecstatic. I actually can, like, my rings aren't stuck on my fingers. Like, for the first time all summer, like, they have been, like, implanted in my fingers for months, and it has been nothing but frustrating. Now, obviously, I'm still up 3 pounds from my lowest weight. I'm up 2.8, I think, pounds from my lowest weight ever, which I saw in March, way back in March. Feels like ages ago. So I don't know for sure, like, if I still carrying some water or if I've just put on that much lean mass, because I've obviously gotten smaller since March, like markedly so. And let's talk about inches. This week I actually lost a 1/2 inch on my bust again. Yep, again. But thankfully not on my neck or my upper bust, or my under bust, or whatever you call that, rib cage. Thankfully those stayed the same because I am skinny enough right there. But I did lose a 1/2 inch on my waist. It's 29.5. 29.5. I'm not even kidding. That is awesome. And on my hips, I'm down to 39. So great. I'm sorry. I'm super excited about that as well. So I lost some of that water, but I also lost some inches, which is phenomenal. So I know that I'm definitely, like, less body fat than I was in March, but I am kind of, like, shocked and amazed with this potassium thing. And I'm trying to figure out, like, when did I stop getting my potassium in? I know people are always giving me crap about not having my green veggies, and now I'm kind of going, yeah. Well, anyway, I think I was getting a lot of potassium from my bacon, and like I said, I didn't do it for most of the week, which made it even worse. And I have to say, it's been really hard to stay on top of my electrolytes altogether. I have been pounding the sodium as well. I've been having 10,000 milligrams or more a day, and at least 2,000 to 2,600. I think 2,600 is my highest, though today I'm actually going to go above that because I am having now a high-fat day today. So I've talked about that in the past, like if you hit a stall for 6 weeks, no change, that a good way to jog it is to do 6 days of a lower fat, like 10 grams under your regular macro, and then 1 day of higher fat. So I'm trying that. That may be part of the reason why the scale is moving, but I really don't think so, because I've done that before, and I really think it's the potassium. I really, really do. Like, this is the first time that I've actually done something that's affected water weight in any way. So I really think I just wasn't getting enough, and my body was retaining water to keep it. It just makes the most sense to my brain. So I'm not saying to run out there and grab some potassium supplements, and I'm not even saying that I'm going to do so, but I'm just going to be more cautious and watch my numbers until I get a handle on what I need to eat in order to consume enough to at least, because I'm supposed to be getting 1,000 to 3,500 milligrams of potassium from food. That is an actual thing that I teach, and I'm not doing it apparently. I was getting barely above 1,000 with the bacon, just enough to keep my body satiated enough with potassium, but obviously not enough for my body to go, whoo, we're okay with potassium, and let the water go. So, I don't know, we're going to keep going with that and see how it goes. But for right now, I'm pretty happy. I'm like actually feeling incredible relief. Because it's hard when you work hard at keeping your macros in check and keeping your fats at a reasonable level so that you're burning body fat, and you see the body fat literally melting off you in the mirror and the scale doesn't change. It messes with your brain. And as much as I like to come on here and be all like, woo, I'm awesome, I can just like power through and whatever, it is really hard to come on here every week and tell you guys, well, it didn't change. Nothing's changing. Yep, not changing. And have you guys like believe me when you don't see the physical number. I'm like, I know you guys can see, especially if you watch hide and seek, you can probably see me shrinking in my ballet outfit. Like, I look way different. Even like from the videos from the beginning of the summer to the videos I'm just posting now, which are beginning of August, like it's a marked difference in how I look. So I know that my macros are low enough to burn body fat. It's just I can't get the scale to budge. So anyway, who'd have thunk it? Now, I can't remember the name of the lovely girl who told me the potassium thing and reminded me of it, because I know this stuff. You know, I teach it all the time. But sometimes when you teach something over and over and you feel like you have a handle on it, you don't pay as much attention as you should. Right? I mean, come on. We're all guilty of doing that. Getting into your groove and just feeling comfy and not really wanting to address anything or think about things too much. You know, we want to be a little bit lazy every once in a while. And I do look forward to being a little bit more lazy in the fall. I'm probably going to do whatever I want. I don't know what I'm going to do in the fall. I won't be eating any carbs. When I say whatever I want, I don't mean I'm going to be eating any carbs. Carbs is no longer an option for me. Nope. Never again. Never again. So for me, when I say that, I just mean that I'm not going to be like keeping my fats uber low, trying to burn body fat, because it's not my favorite thing to do anymore. And that's the honest truth. Like, I don't love doing it as much. I've been doing it and it's been fine, but I just don't feel like I need to do that anymore as much. Maybe that's it. But yeah. This whole channel is going to be morphing into my journey to maintenance, my journey to figuring out where I want to be and how to stick there, right? How to stay there. Because as much as losing weight is like popular and it's what everybody is doing, it's what everybody wants to do, I've got oodles of video on how to lose weight. There is not much video out there on how to sustain and maintain weight. I think that's because most people really don't ever do that. I think we all lose it and then we gain it back and then we lose it again and we just play the yo-yo over and over, and I don't want to yo-yo anymore. I just want to be me, how I am now, forever. And I have to figure out how to do that. And I'm slowly figuring that out. So you guys will be coming along for the ride with me on that. But anyway, it was a fantastic week. I did amazing. I got everything done. I got all of our homeschooling done. I got videos made for hide and seek. I did my macros perfectly and I stayed within them. I made sure I got all my potassium in. I took my kids to the amusement park. Look at me go, guys. This week has been amazing. I have just had such a great week. I feel peace. I feel peace. And that's the best feeling to feel. You know, when you're on a journey, there's times of stress, there's times of anxiety, and there's times of peace. And it's been a very lovely, lovely week. Oh, and it has been so nice and warm. Guys, it had 100 degrees for the first time in 40 years in September here in Utah. Yep, it did that. And I was the only one happy about it. I love, love, love not being cold. I'm always cold. So anyway, I'm going to let you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that I give you some inspiration and motivation to try. Let me know about your potassium stories. I mean, like I said, I'm not advocating going out there and putting tons of potassium supplements into your body, because you got to be really careful with potassium. You just really don't want to go too high, because you can overdose on potassium. It is possible to do that. And it's a lot easier to do sodium than it is potassium. But if you don't give your body enough potassium, doesn't matter how much sodium you're going to take, your body's not going to have enough to do what it needs to do. So I am learning a lesson here. Me, the electrolytes guru, I'm like, cannot even believe. I am shocked that it's an electrolytes issue. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised. And I'm really happy. I'm really happy because this is something that I have absolute control over. Well, shall see if I come back next week saying, boo, it didn't work. It was just a fluke. And I gained weight anyway because I'm on my fertile cycle and didn't do any good. But we'll see. I may. You never know what's going to happen in the future. But at least I have something to focus myself on and to stay motivated to try something new, right? I'm going to be doing this all month. That's my goal, to make it all the way through September, keeping my macros perfect, keeping my potassium good, and see what happens. So, wish me luck, guys. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching this video and spending your Sunday with me. I hope your day is wonderful. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description below. I have my Facebook group with information on how you can get started doing the same way of eating that I am doing and lose your own 200 pounds. And you don't need to lose that much, thank goodness, right? And I also have links to my Patreon account where I put up extra videos 24 hours before everyone else here on YouTube as a thank you for your donation. Everything you donate on Patreon, on PayPal, on those things like that, here in the super chats, on my live chat, all of that goes toward keeping me motivated to make videos for you guys and keep this channel going. And it also helps build our ketogenic family. We have such a great family here on YouTube, and I'm so grateful to all of you for being part of my family. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. We'll talk to you all again soon.